And let's go across now to Priyanshi on the other big headline, because the markets today, Priyanshi, were hit by US banks collapsing. So it's an irony really that the Indian regulatory system standing strong, but it's the US regulatory system that is now under fire.
That's right, Sonia. In fact, there are several concerns whether startups' funds are stuck in the US banks after two banks collapsed in just a matter of the last 5 days. But let's just tell you that now the US government has stepped in after two banks in the United States collapsed. The Silicon Valley Bank had collapsed last week and was taken over by the US regulators. That marked the biggest banking collapse since 2008. Now, a second bank, the Signature Bank, has been shut by the US regulators after the stock price lost over 37% of its value in the last 5 days. Now, it's significant as this bank was one of the few to hold funds from cryptocurrency investors and startups. And with assets worth more than 110 billion US dollars, the Signature Bank collapse actually marks the third largest bank failure in the United States history. Now, after two banks collapsed in the United States in the last 5 days, startup owners with funds parked in the Silicon Valley Bank and the Signature Bank were worried whether their funds will be stuck, since these banks largely cater to startups and they've now been shut down. But the US government has reassured customers, saying that their funds are safe. Remember last week, the US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen had said that they won't bail out these banks. So they're not bailing out the banks, but they're just saying that all deposits will be safely returned to the customers. Listen in to what US President Joe Biden said, reassuring the customers of the safety of the funds in the two banks.
All customers who had deposits in these banks can rest assured, rest assured they'll be protected and they'll have access to their money as of today. Those responsible can be held accountable. I'm going to ask Congress and the banking regulators to strengthen the rules for banks to make it less likely this kind of bank failure would happen again.